Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. I'm so happy to be back. Yay! Good morning, everyone. It is so good to be back home. And I suppose getaways are only effective when you're itching to get back home. And when you're home, you're itching to return with your activities. And that is my case. I had a great time away, but I am so very happy to be back and so happy to see you as we do every morning here at Coffee and Headlines, our daily get-together live, where we dissect and examine headlines from places far and near, places that have to do with our lives here in Puerto Vallarta, the culture of this beautiful country we live in called Mexico, and our everyday lives as a community of English-speaking locals. How's that for a big and obnoxiously useless introduction? So happy to be here again. I hope you enjoyed some of the content that Luna and I prepared for you during the last couple of days. I will be honest with you, I haven't even looked at your comments, but I promise solemnly that I will as soon as this broadcast is over. In the meantime, it is so great to see you. It is great to see faces that I recognize. And if you are new to these broadcasts, again, my name is Paco. And we'd love to find out that you are new. If you write the word new in your comments, then we will know that and we will give you a nice little welcome. Also, if you have any important things that you would like to share during the broadcast, if you add a letter Q, a capital Q at the beginning of your comment, it helps us to find your comment in all the conversation that goes on. So here we are, back at home. So happy to be here. Let me take a look at who's joining us. Good morning, John. Good morning, Claude. It's great to see you guys. Let's see. Mushi is in Alta Vista. I hope, dear friend, I hope you continue to be settling into your new home. I hope you're having a good time just creating it for yourselves. I think that is absolutely wonderful. Good morning, Karen. It's great to be back. Christine has great news from San Miguel de Allende. Very exciting that vaccines are starting to be distributed. Thank you very much, Rita. Yeah, that was fun. The fish market. We went to the fish market this past Wednesday. And, we went the previous weekend, but it was a good, it's amazing how many things you can find in that tiny little market. And of course, the cemetery across the street is fascinating. Kelly, it's great to see you. Let's see what else we have. Debbie Slayton Orlando. What a great name is that. Debbie, it's great to see you. And, how can we not mention Glee Audrey Lembeck? I mean, you guys have fascinating, wonderful names. Hello from Chicago. Thanks for the good wishes, Kathleen, I'm sorry. Thanks you very much for the good wishes. And Raymond, I hope you continue to recover from your surgery. Great to be here and great to come back to a wonderful set of news that I want to share with you. Well, yes, we're going to touch base on that, Gary, because, oh my goodness, that was a funny thing that happened yesterday at the local airport. Talk about tripping under your own feet. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. Yes, a plane tripped on its own landing gear in our very own Puerto Vallarta. Where else could this possibly happen, people? But I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let us first go through the formal news, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, no, we're not ready, are we? There we go. These would be the formal news, and let me tell you what they're about. As you know, Puerto Vallarta is preparing itself for Semana Santa through a series of operatives and guidelines that will be implemented from March 27 to April 11. It is expected that the most intense tourism days will be during the 2 weekends involved, April 1st to 4th, which is coming in 2 weeks, and of course the following weekend, April to 11. In addition, special security will be implemented April 1st to 4th in local churches, which is when and where the religious action will take place, or where people will tend to congregate the most. For the rest of us, we've said this before, it's a good time to, let people that come and visit our city enjoy it while we're, making room for our tourists to come in and have a good time. We can stay at home, binge watching something. And as far as hotels go, it is also expected that hotels will be full to the 66% capacity that they are allowed to welcome at this time. People coming to Puerto Vallarta looking for nightlife during Semana Santa, of course, may be disappointed because there will be very little of it, certainly none after 11 p.m. But for the rest of the tourists, it should be a wonderful time. Now, Nayarit is playing a different tune or a slightly different story, as many beachfront locations in Nayarit are very popular amongst campers, and they attract many who arrive without any kind of reservation. Well, this time around, Nayarit authorities will install inspection points along the highway that will send people back to their origin if they don't have actual reservations for a specific hotel or a rental unit or a campground. Do you know how chaotic that's going to be? Well, you probably don't. Just be happy that you're going to stay home, and you're going to stay home binge watching and enjoying the place where you live. Because again, Nayarit is popular with people that do a lot of camping. Puerto Vallarta is very popular to be people that come to the beach. I say Semana Santa for locals is a time to just stay home and enjoy our home. I'm going to be cleaning my house to wonderful music performed by Cat Lady, or I don't know what else I'm going to think of. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, yes. More vaccines arrived in Nayarit while I was gone in the past couple of days. However, and we're talking about 6,825 Pfizer vaccines to be specific. But these were destined for the municipalities of Jalisco. Yes, there is a municipality called Jalisco with an X in the state of Nayarit, and the municipality of San Blas. There is still no word as to when Bahía de Banderas will receive its senior vaccines just yet. But as an aside, Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador did state in a recent press conference that all seniors in Mexico will be vaccinated by the end of April, at least as far as their first dose is concerned. Of course, this raises all kinds of questions for both the people that have received their first shot and are wondering, when am I going to get the second one? And for those of us that are on the next tier down as far as age is concerned, I've received a couple of queries from friends and people that say to me, well, what's happening to the folks that are between 50 and 60? Well, there are no news as of yet, so I suppose we need to wait patiently for the vaccines to continue to be distributed. Let me take a quick look at your comments so far. Let's go back here a little bit. Bidim bam boom bam boom. Oh, thank you very much, Sherry. We loved the broadcast when you were gone. I'm very happy to hear that. Lynn liked the Cinco de Diciembre walking tour. It is a great place. And I was so happy to get there when there was still enough action going on. Because, I mean, these mercados are really the best during the morning hours. But as you know, we are here during the morning broadcasting, so it's difficult to get there. Let's see what else we have. Boom, bitty, boom, bim, boom. More welcome backs. Thank you so much, you guys. Is Angelica asks, is the percentage with COVID now is going down? Yes, the numbers that as we reported them this past weekend looked very, very good. Um, so yes, little by little, our state seems to be recovering. Our country seems to be doing better. And it'll be interesting to see how the numbers continue to hopefully decrease this coming weekend. Jorge asks, did I get some sun? Yes, I got a little bit of sun, that's for sure. I went swimming. I went to Cajon de Peña. And if you don't know anything about Cajon de Peña, I can tell you about Cajon de Peña if you attempt to write that word in your comments in a little while. I have one more bit of formal news before we move on to the leisurely stuff. Let's take a look at that. And that would be this one, which has to do with our city's infrastructure. Puerto Vallarta continues to advance with basic infrastructure projects, bringing electricity and clean water and paved streets to neighborhoods in our city that many of us don't even know exist or do not frequent regularly, such as the Colonia Arboledas or Colonia Bobadilla. These are great colonias, and they're getting better because they're getting their streets paved. So when the other day somebody commented something along the lines of, well, wait a second, where's the funicular that they promised, or where this, that, and the other? It's not that the city is idle, it's just that it's working on other things. And this is good to know. So now that we I see a lot of Cajon de Peñas. Okay, we will talk briefly about the place where I escaped. I feel so self-conscious talking about vacation because, I know that these are difficult times where we're either having to work very hard or feeling concerned about where can we go to feel safe. So I almost don't want to talk about it because I don't want to feel like I'm bragging or anything. But I will tell you briefly where we went. But first, let's take a quick look at the weather. Let's see. 27 degrees Celsius feels like 26 because humidity is very low. It's 31%. Fahrenheit is 80 degrees. Wait, the Snyder Cut was actually real and not an elaborate practical joke. I don't get that reference, and that's because I haven't been seeing or reading any kind of news, so I don't know what snarky weather is talking about. But let me tell you that the weather for today is going to be clear through the day with a high temperature of 30, low temperature 18. Tomorrow, Saturday, we can expect a clear day, high temperature 32, low temperature 19, and a perfect day to go visit our horses in El Jorullo and go visit our friends that provide horseback riding tours upriver. And Sunday, it'll be clear with a high temperature of 32, low temperature 19. So what a great weekend we can all look forward to. And let me switch back to my main screen so that we can get started with the rest of the program. Let's see, what else do we have next? Okay. This is just too funny. I don't know how this is happening, but it happened. This is not funny, but as long as, where is it? Here it is. As long as nobody was hurt, I can't help but to laugh at the sight of this plane whose front landing gear collapsed on the runway as it was getting to take off, and it looks like the plane just tripped on it. This happened here in Puerto Vallarta yesterday, where the incident ended up detouring a number of flights that were expected to either land or depart through the afternoon and early evening. Again, the good news is that all 127 passengers and crew were not injured. But imagine that you are about to take off on your flight wherever it is that it was going, and all of a sudden you feel that if you're in the back part of the plane, that all of a sudden you feel that you're rising, and then you feel like a thunk. I don't know exactly how this happened, but I'm sorry, it is just too funny. Viva Aerobus. No, I don't think I'm going to be flying on Viva Aerobus anytime in the near future. Moving right along, I have more infrastructure good news. You are looking at some of the courts on the Puerto Vallarta Stadium, and I'm itching to walk there just to see firsthand all the improvements that the government has been working on as far as their front tennis and basketball courts are concerned. I understand that there's going to be a formal inauguration ceremony sometime in the near future. But it is awesome that the city is finding a way to provide for this very popular outdoor space where a lot of Vallartenses go and exercise and have a good time. And the last bit of news before we talk a little bit about Cajón de Peña is this one. There is an entity I learned this morning called the Vallarta Skate Project, and they have been promoting the sport of skateboarding through the region. And now its organizers have come forth with this proposal to transform a section of the Malecón into a skateboarding rink, which would be right near where the Rio Cuale pedestrian bridge is located. And the proposal was presented to Saúl López, who oversees sports activities for the municipal government. The project would require a 3 million peso investment and would take up to 6 months to build. And organizers hope that the government will provide a slice of the resources required. And this, combined with private fundraising, would see the project through if it is approved by the city. Presently, the only dedicated sport facility for skateboarding is in the aforementioned stadium, with many athletes improvising at other locations that are not purposed for the sport. But how fun it would be, I think, to be able to see the skateboarders do their thing on the Malecón. I hope this gets approved. So let me take a quick look at some of your final comments before we take a look at Cajón de Peña. Let's see what we have here. Thank you, Doreen. And and I thrive. I love connecting. I love connecting audiences with good stories, and I'm very happy to work hard at it. And I hope that I work hard enough to keep you entertained and amused. That's the general idea. Thank you very much for that, Claude. I don't feel bad for going, but I also feel very mindful of the fact that there are a lot of people that cannot go places for one reason or another. So I just hope that all of us can find a way to charge our batteries here, then, and whenever it is possible. Absolutely. Because, as Janice says, everybody needs downtime and well-deserved getaway. Everybody. Let's see what else. Stephanie says, that's what I call a real nosedive. Absolutely. Angelique asks what airline. It was Viva Aerobus. Let's see what else. This is absolutely true. I mean, if it had collapsed while the plane was landing, that would have been horrible. Let's see. Joey Real says, love the walking tour. That's right where our gallery, the Hive, was. We put together the event for that corner mural. Oh, wonderful. That's good to know. It was a multiple artist effort. How good. Thank you so much for complimenting that. And I hope we learned more about your gallery, Joey, so that we can explore it at some point. Did we eat great langostinos? You bet we did. The food was amazing. Let's see. The Snyder Cut refers to the Zack Snyder version of the Justice League movie for our movie release yesterday. Okay, thank you very much, Christina. I haven't seen what's on the movie theater, but it's good to know what the connections are. Hola, cousin. My cousin Norma's chiming in from Chicago. And enough of that. Let me just very quickly tell you a little bit about Cajón de Peña. Cajón de Peña is a dam that is located 2 hours south of Puerto Vallarta, not far from the main highway, the highway that goes to Costa Alegre. And this dam is a beautiful location. The dam was artificially made by the government. I believe it was in the 70s that the government came to a little town and said, surprise, we're going to relocate you. And the dam was built. And it is one of the largest, I believe the second largest body of water in Mexico, next to the Chapala Lake. And at this place, a dear friend of mine has some cabins that you can rent. They're not expensive. We rented a van to get there. The van took us there, dropped us off. We were fed by the locals. We were provided with food and everything we need. And I haven't had a chance to cook the photos that I did take, but I do happen to have a video that I produced to showcase a little bit of the experience at Cajon de Peña. And this video was made 10 years ago. So this is not what happened this past weekend, but I am happy to tell you that very little has changed since then. Take a look. And that last scene was the actual property where we stayed. It is called Rincón de la Ceiba, and I will be so very happy to leave the location and the contact information in the show notes. My friend Juan Cibrian and his parents, Gilberto and Antonia, have owned this property for many years, and they look after it, and they fill the property with so much soul and so much spirit. And the great thing about it is that it's a small property. It only has 8 cabañas. So my friends and I had it pretty much to ourselves. So we were completely isolated without concerns of face masks and running into people and so forth and so on. And it was absolutely beautiful. Lynn asks, is the dam for drinking water? Actually, the dam was built originally to provide irrigation to many of the farms that are located in this beautiful valley in the municipality of Tomatlan. There's a lot of fruit trees, and there's papayas and bananas and all kinds of plantíos, or farms that harvest. So it is a gorgeous place, surprisingly close to Puerto Vallarta, only 2 hours south. We arranged for a van to take us and bring us back at a very comfortable 250 pesos per person. So transportation was only 500 pesos. And then the cabañas were ranging between, I believe, 600 to 1,200 in price per night, depending on how large they were. Private bathrooms, as far as Jorge asks. What was the music behind the video? Beautiful background for a beautiful place. Thank you very much. It is copyright-free music that I purchased some time ago to be able to use in these kinds of videos. And let's see what else. Freshwater is supposed to be good bass fishing. I'm not much of a fisherman, so I couldn't tell you. I've seen people there that come to the lake or to the dam, to the reservoir, to fish from many parts of of the country. So I assume that it must be good fishing at some points of the year because I don't know my fishing. I couldn't tell you much more specific information. What else? What else? What else? Let's see. Bim, para bim, pam, pam. Can anybody explain the church chimes for Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe? The other night it chimed for 4, then 10, and it was 7:15. Oops, I couldn't tell you, Mushi. I am sure there's got to be a reason why they chimed the number of times they chime. I've always wondered about that. But to be honest, I don't know much about the specifics. And there you have it. This pretty much. Oh, Julie asks if it's dog friendly. There are no dogs allowed at this point. Julie asks, do showers have hot water? The water was supposed to be hot, and you just had to wait a long time for the hot water to get to the actual cabaña. Can you share the name of the van that I used? Absolutely. It's the same driver that I use all the time. My tocayo, Paco, Francisco is his name. He has his own van, and he is a regular taxi here in Puerto Vallarta. But whenever I need to be going somewhere for something special, if it's a small number of people, he brings a small car. If it's a large number of people, he brings this amazing, comfortable, huge van that can take you from one place to another. Totally trustworthy. And he thrives on having repeat customers. So I'm happy to share the name of Francisco's van. Let's see what else we have. I think we are pretty much there. I think we've reached the end of this broadcast. I am so very happy that I am back. I have all your comments to look through for the last few days. And I have homework to do for Taco Tuesday. Our first taqueria has already been documented. I just need to edit. And again, I want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to sneak out and leave some pre-recorded treats for you to enjoy. I hope they were good, and I hope that we will get together again sometime in the near future. And again, I can't be happier. I cannot be happier than to be back home with Luna and to continue moving forward. One more question. How many seats in Francisco's large van? There were 9 of us riding the van, and we were comfortable, 9 of us, plus all our luggage. Angelica says, te extrañamos, guapo. Claude says 10, which gives it away. Claude was in the trip. Okay, anyhow, enough of that. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you very much for being part of this wonderful cluster. And thank you very much for coming back sometime in the near future. I hope I'll see you again, maybe even tomorrow. Have a great day.